Hey guys, in today's episode, what we're going to talk about is I want you to avoid Debbie Downers like the plague. Get away from me. Avoid them like the plague. Let's talk about it. Welcome to another episode of Career Strategies. My name is Rodney Hughes, Mr. 100%. Today's episode is being brought to you by Interview Prep University. If you need help preparing for an upcoming telephone, video, or face-to-face interview, you need to take advantage of this 100% free virtual training platform that's designed to help you exponentially improve your odds of interviewing well when you go into this upcoming interview. So, if you'd like to exponentially improve your job interview skills, go ahead and go to this website, www.interviewprepuniversity.com. Again, that's www.interviewprepuniversity.com. It's 100% free. You don't have to subscribe to anything. Just go there and you'll gain immediate access. Again, www.interviewprepuniversity.com. Okay, so again, in today's episode, we're talking about avoid Debbie Downers like the plague. Now, one of the things that you will notice about me and the things that I talk about, I always believe in starting with self, taking personal responsibility. So the first place I want you to look for Debbie Downers, right, is I want you to start with yourself. And let me tell you why. One of the things that I came to realize about myself was at a certain point in my life, I realized that I had actually become a little bit of a Debbie Downer because I just started seeing the negative in everything. I started seeing the negative in people. I started seeing the negative in my own situation. And even though I'm outrageously blessed, even though God has made a way for me to be able to do the things I like doing and so on and so forth, I just got into this mental space where I was like a Debbie Downer. Like, I just was seeing the worst in everything. And the reason why I want you to be cognizant of it, okay, and why I want you to start with identifying Debbie Downers, and you got to start with yourself, is because life is too short. There are examples all around us. My heart went out to Nipsey Hussle when I found out that he ended up passing. It went out to him. It went out for his family, because this was a young man that was doing such positive things in the world, not just his community, like in the world. Okay, he was making a global impact, and it those unfortunate circumstances ended up happening, and that just goes to show you, though, how short life can be. Now, we all hope and pray that we have a long, fruitful life. I know that's something I pray for every single day. I pray that me and my wife can grow old together and see our son grow old and start a family, and see our grandkids grow up as well. That's the ideal situation, right? And that's what we pray for. And you just never know what life has in store for you. So with that in mind, you can't afford to be a Debbie Downer to yourself. You can't afford to just focus on the negative things in this world, because there's negativity that's happening all around you anyway. You understand? Everywhere you look on the TV, negativity. Go on online, negativity. Go to social media, negativity, right? Sometimes you go to the store, negativity. Like everywhere you go, there's just negativity everywhere, right? So the world has enough negative things going on in it. You don't need to be your own worst enemy. You don't need to be a Debbie Downer to yourself. right? Because when you get into this certain space, or at least for me, it was like you could get so negative that you start waking up kind of like, ugh, another day. Ugh, I just hate this and I hate that, and you just get caught in this cycle, this unrelenting cycle of negativity. And so you can't afford to do that. Okay, you can't afford to do that with your career. All right, because even if you're fortunate enough to get of retirement age and you know, live to be 80, 90, maybe even 100 years old, if you were a Debbie Downer most of your younger years, how much do you think you're going to really be able to accomplish in life? Huh? And if you're not able to accomplish much in life, how easy do you think those later years are going to be? I wouldn't imagine that they would be that great if you were constantly being a Debbie Downer for most of your career. And what makes me think about this is I've known people. What made me actually think about this topic is, you know, now that I've done the hard work to kind of get my mind out of the negative space, and I still have to focus on it because, you know, sometimes I get caught up in some of the negative things and I see myself going down the path of being a Debbie Downer again, and I have to check myself. And I have to say, hey man, tighten up. Can't afford to go down that path. And, you know, the thing is this. The reason why positivity is so important. Well, hold on. I missed the point. Let me go back to it. So what made me think about this topic in particular, about avoiding Debbie Downers like the plague, is because there's a particular person that I used to work with that just was very negative, right? Every single morning, this person starts off on a negative note, okay? And it got to a point where I didn't even want to ask him how he was doing that day, because I already knew it was going to be negative. I already knew that what was going to come out his mouth was something on a negative note, right? If it was raining outside, oh, don't you hate this weather? Debbie Downer. If it was sunny outside, oh, ain't the sun too bright? I don't think they ever said that, but oh, ain't it just hot outside? Right? If it's a perfect weather day, right? If it's like not too hot, not too cold, oh, I'm so tired today. Right? Right? Every day it was like one of those things. It was like, I was like, bro, you got to snap out of this, man. You got to snap out of it, because you're being way too negative. You understand? So again, it just dawned on me, like, because I wanted to tell him a few times, like, bro, you can't be thinking like this. You can't be operating like this, because eventually, I mean, how do you ever plan to get to a positive space, right? When is life ever going to get good for you if all you're doing is focusing on negative things? I don't see how that could work. So it's just something I want you to keep in mind. Be cognizant of it, okay? And I want you to avoid it like the plague, right? And start with yourself. Ask yourself, are you a Debbie Downer? You got to be true. You got to be truthful with yourself. You got to you got to start from a position of honesty, because for me, there was a point where I was legitimately a Debbie Downer, and nothing was going to improve in my life until I first did the work on myself. Then once I got to a place where my mind was right, then it was like I wanted to keep my eyes open for people that might be Debbie Downers around me, and I just wanted to limit my interactions with these individuals, right? Because again, you end up being like the people that you hang around. So if you spend too much time with somebody that's a Debbie Downer, it's just a matter of time before you end up becoming a Debbie Downer. You understand? Before you start saying, yeah, it is too beautiful outside today. Man, why I gotta be? I just feel miserable. You understand? Like I'm just joking there, but the reality is that you just got to be careful. And you know what I liken it to? I liken it to smoking, right? So I used to smoke cigarettes, and when I was smoking cigarettes, I couldn't tell, like I couldn't really smell the cigarette smell. I know it sounds kind of strange, but I really couldn't smell the cigarette smell. And then after a certain period of time, like once I finally stopped, once I legitimately was like, all right, I'm wiping my hands. This is over. I'm not smoking anymore. It didn't take very long for me to start realizing how strong that smoke, that smell of smoke was. It was super strong. And it was like, now I'm like now that I've been done for quite some time, my sense of smell is hyperactive now, right? Like now it's like if somebody's been smoking and then they walk in the room, I could smell it from across the room in most instances. And I didn't realize that that's how I used to smell. I used to think, oh, I don't smell like smoke. No. I smelled exactly like smoke. Okay? And when you're a Debbie Downer, and again, it starts with you. When you walk into an environment with other people, it's almost like you drain other people due to your negativity, due to your negative outlook on life, because we're in a world of energy. Like, have you ever just walked into a room right after an argument took place? Have you ever just walked in and been like, ooh, the energy is not, something's wrong here? I don't know what it is, but something's off. Have you ever experienced that? I've experienced it before, right? Or have you ever walked into an environment and it was just good vibes? Like as soon as you walked in, you were like, man, the vibes are amazing in here. I don't know what it is. See, we live in a world of energy. And so if you're a Debbie Downer and you don't fix the Debbie Downer in you, all you're literally going to attract are other Debbie Downers in your life. And if you're a Debbie Downer, right, and then you meet other Debbie Downers, you know what's going to happen? Because you all on the same frequency, you all are going to relate. And then y'all are just going to bounce Debbie Downer shit off of each other. And this is how you get caught up in a cycle of being a Debbie Downer, right? I want you to be positive though. I want you to avoid Debbie Downers like the plague, but in order for you to do it, start with yourself. Now, maybe you don't have that problem. Maybe you know somebody else that has that problem, but I want you to be honest with yourself because you might have that problem. And if you do have that problem, start with yourself first. Make sure you're good first, okay? But then as soon as you start doing the work and you get to a positive place, I want you to be cognizant of the people that are around you. Do not allow, look, you can't, sometimes there are certain people that you have to interact with, okay? But if you don't have to interact with them, limit your interactions with these people, right? And if you have to interact with them, limit your interactions with these people, okay? And unfortunately, if you're in a certain situation where the Debbie Downer is somebody you have to interact with on a regular basis, then you may need to have a come to Jesus moment with them. You may have to sit down and be like, hey, so here's the deal, okay? I'm working on myself, but I need you to work on you, okay? Because your negative energy is bringing me down, right? So you may have to have that difficult conversation because again, the reality is you don't have like outrageous amounts of time, right? I want you to be capitalizing and tapping into your potential right now. And in order to do that, you got to have the right type of right type of energy. Okay? You got to be in a positive space. I've never met an extremely successful person who was a Debbie Downer. I've just never seen it. Now, not to say that person doesn't exist. Maybe there is a Debbie Downer out there that's outrageously successful. I just don't know him. Right? So all I can talk to you about is what I've seen and what I've experienced. And what I've seen and what I've experienced is that I become more successful the more I focus on positive things. The people that I've known that have become successful are all optimistic people, are all positive people, are all people that see the possibilities in life, not focused on, these aren't people that focus on all the things that are going wrong in life. Okay? Oh, and by the way, the people that I know that are outrageously successful, they are very particular about the people that they spend time with. That's another key thing, right? Because you become a sum total of the people that you end up interacting with. All right? Now, let me ask you a question. Okay? On to another topic. Let me ask you a question. What if I could teach you a step-by-step system that can help you exponentially improve your odds of eliminating 99% of your competition the next time you're in a job interview process, and show you how to easily position yourself as the ideal candidate of choice? Is that something you would be interested in learning more about? Well, if the answer is yes, I want you to pick up a copy of my book, The Ugly Truth About Getting Hired: How to Land the Job of Your Dreams Regardless of the Competition. Here's the deal. Right here, right now as we speak, the job market is fierce from a competition perspective. The single greatest challenge that you're going to face in your entire career is competition. The competition is fierce now, and please understand, because of the technological advances and the way that we are going as a nation, as a global society, from a job market perspective, from a technology perspective, over the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, the competition is going to become absolutely insane. And the people who are going to have the greatest advantage, the people who are going to be able to capitalize on all this change that is taking place in the marketplace and really be able to take advantage of the opportunities in the job marketplace, are people who know how to systematically eliminate their competition. And that's what this book is about. So if you like to have a competitive advantage, go ahead and order a copy of this book. It will be the single greatest investment that you've ever made in your career, hands down. You can pick up a copy of it today at www.theuglytruthbook.com. Again, that's www.theuglytruthbook.com. When you place your order for the physical copy of the book, you will immediately gain access to a free downloadable version of this book, so you can dive into the content immediately. All right, go ahead and pick it up. Again, www.theuglytruthbook.com. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, regardless of what platform you're listening to it on, I want you to like this. I want you to comment. Tell me what you liked about today's episode. Share your thoughts with me. Also, tell me, if there's a certain type of topic that you might be interested in learning more about, or you want to ask me some questions or whatever, go ahead, drop me a note. Okay. And don't forget, do me a favor, share this content with other people. It's extremely valuable content. I'm going to be dropping content every single day, because I want you to be able to engage with this information. I want you to be able to use this information to make an immediate impact in your life. So I'm going to be dropping daily content that's going to be designed to help you dramatically advance your career. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.